All right, so I'm just gonna go over how I sharpen broadheads real quick. What I have is a kit from Stay Sharp. You could find them online. They sell the sandpaper and then a little jig. So I'm using 3-blade like fixed broadheads. So they sell this little jig that holds the broadhead for you. I also have an arrow because you can just use the arrow as well and kind of hold it at an angle if you don't like the jig. I kind of swap between them both depending on how the broadhead is sitting inside the jig. Sometimes they'll wobble a little bit depending on the broadhead. But I'll just go over real quick kind of how I sharpen them, and that'll be it. All right, so I'm going to try to do this over my shoulder a bit so I can keep everything in focus for you guys. So as you can see, all these sandpapers are a little bit different color as they go up, and that's because they're different grit, obviously. These ones, they start at 240 grit, which is pretty similar to like some finished grit for woodworking or anything like that. But this is not woodworking sandpaper, so don't go buy that sandpaper and try to use it. And then it works its way all the way up to 2500 grit sandpaper, which is very flat compared to the other. So I'll kind of set this jig up and set up the camera as well, and we'll get into it. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do about 10 strokes on each side of the blade. So how I'm going to achieve that is it's pretty simple. The blade obviously lays this way. So I'm going to do 10 strokes like this, and then I'm going to switch the jig, and then I'm going to do these blades, 10 on that side, 10 on that side, and then you go all the way around so you can get all the blades. So I'm going to do 10 with the first sandpaper, then I'm going to do to the next, then to the next, then to the next, then to the next, and feel it out as we go. And it should be good after that. If not, and then you just kind of go back and do it again, and it's all in practice and it's all in feel. So you can do it by the numbers, so to speak, but that doesn't always mean it's going to turn out exactly how you think it is. So you just kind of got to feel it out. All right, one last thing before we get started, I wanted to know, you want to do this on a hard and smooth surface that's not going to be forgiving. So you keep the angle of that blade the same every time as you're pushing it across that sandpaper. If the angle changes, if you have something soft, that's not hard, that's not flat, you're never going to get the same edge with each stroke that you do. So you need something hard. That's why I have this tile on here to keep your blade as flat as possible. All right, I'll keep going through these until they get sharp, and I'll show you what we get. All right, quick update. I just want to show you. You can see how the new bevel starts to form. The metal will obviously look different because it's newly exposed. You can see the edges.